We all know Sauron is the Dark Lord, the ultimate villain of Middle-earth. But what if I told you that everything you knew about him was wrong? What if he was never meant to be the villain, but Middle-earth's savior? You see, in his eyes he wasn't a tyrant, he was the only one who could bring order to a world filled with chaos. Let me take you inside Sauron's mind, and I guarantee by the end of the video you will never see him the same way again. Sauron is this feared Dark Lord in the second and third age of Middle-earth, and there are a lot of similarities between him and Morgoth. They are both using the same methods to accomplish their goals. They use fear, domination, manipulation, deception, but their goals are completely different. Morgoth wanted to destroy Middle-earth, he wanted to destroy Arda, everything that Valar and Eru Ilúvatar had created. Sauron does not want to destroy Middle-earth, he wants to save it, he wants to bring order to a world filled with chaos. And this begs the question, does Sauron truly only want power, or does he really want to save Middle-earth? To get an answer to this question, we have to go back to the very beginning. As Elrond said during the Council of Elrond, "For nothing is evil in the beginning, even Sauron was not so." And that is right, Sauron was not evil when he was created. He was originally one of the Ainu, and he was called Mairon. And he aided in the creation of the world in the Ainulindale, where they sang Arda into existence. When Eru showed his vision, Mairon was among these Ainu who descended upon Arda, and he became a Maya, a lesser godlike being, and served the Valar Aule. He is the one who literally invented the race of dwarves and was responsible for all the ores and gems in the mountains. And from Aule he had learned a lot, like creating things, smithing, crafting, but he had also some key traits that defined him. He liked order, structure, efficiency. He disliked chaos. In his eyes, a perfect world was one who was ordered, structured, in control. And that is exactly why he changed sides, not because he was evil. He saw that Morgoth's way of handling things, using, like I said, fear, domination, manipulation, deception, were effective to accomplish his goals, to accomplish order, structure, and remove chaos from the board. And a lot of things changed for Sauron when he entered the Second Age. Because Morgoth was gone, he was defeated at the end of the War of Wrath, and he eventually became the new Dark Lord. He had hid for over 500 years, and he thought that the Valar had forgotten about him and even forgotten about Middle-earth, that they just were concerned with what happened to the elves and to themselves in Valinor. They didn't really care much about anything else. This was his chance to take control of Middle-earth, make it his own kingdom, his own realm, where he could be the lord. And he saw the different races in Middle-earth. We have the dwarves, men, elves, but men weren't really that powerful at that time. The only powerful men were the men in Númenor, but that was an island kingdom completely moved away from Middle-earth, didn't really concern him at that time. I do say at that time because near the end of the Second Age, it does concern him greatly. The dwarves were minding their own business, so he knew that the most dominating race in Middle-earth of the free people are the elves, the Eldar, and he wanted to dominate them. And to do this, he thought of a great plan to create these rings of power so he could control them with his mastering that he was going to go and create at the end. And that is why he went as Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, and he tried to deceive Celebrimbor in Eregion. It kind of worked easily with Celebrimbor because there was already something there to manipulate. You see, Celebrimbor always wanted to surpass his grandfather, Feanor, who created the three Silmarils, who was called the greatest smith ever among the Eldar, the greatest who had ever lived. And Celebrimbor wanted to surpass him. So Anatar used this to persuade him into creating these rings, and said that with these rings you can create something as beautiful as a land of Valinor. So the elves in Middle-earth would have the joy to stay in Middle-earth, but also have the beautiful nature and bliss that Valinor has. This is something that we can clearly see at work in Lothlorien. When the Fellowship entered Lothlorien, Frodo said it felt like they were stepping into the past. Sauron created with Celebrimbor and the Smiths of Eregion 16 rings, and after these rings were completed, he went back to Mordor, and there he made his master ring, the One Ring. And if we take a closer look at the ring verse, Ajnaz Durbatuluk, Ajnaz Gimbatul, Ajnaz Krakathuluk, Ach Burzum Ishi Krimpatul. For those who doesn't understand black speech, simply says one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. It says in the text, one ring to rule them all. He wants to control them. He wants to control the other ring bearers with this one ring and bind them in the darkness, because using darkness, using fear, these are his methods to accomplish his goals and crave what he needed. That is order and structure. But as you might know what happened, the elves immediately saw through his deception the moment Sauron had put on his one ring, and the elves removed their rings from their fingers, so Sauron knows that this happened, that the elves saw through his deception. Eventually war was inevitable. Sauron had to attack the elves, because if they don't want to be controlled or listened to by Sauron, then they have to go. Otherwise, the world would still be in chaos. For Sauron, this is not an option. He wants order, structure, efficiency, not chaos. This has to go. He clearly saw that free will has to go. He has to dominate everything, dominate through fear, manipulation, so he could control everything. This was the only way he saw this. This begs the question, is Sauron truly Middle-earth's savior? Well, according to the free people, no. But in his own crooked way, yes, he is. He is Middle-earth's savior. He is the hero that Middle-earth needs to bring order to Middle-earth, to remove chaos from the board. He does see himself this way. But there was one big problem. Like I said before, he needed the ring to control the others. But he lost the ring at the end of the Second Age at the hands of Isildur. And the moment that he found out that someone named Baggins from the Shire, he immediately sent his Nazgul after it, so he could obtain his ring, regain his power, get control of Middle-earth, bring order back. But have you ever wondered how the Nazgul truly have located the Shire? The Shire and the Hobbits, they are something of myth and legend. In the Men in Gondor, it's some tale you tell to your children. But how did they truly found out its location? That is an excellent question to have, and one I will answer in this next video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.